Good morning. So it's Sunday morning and we had a really nice slow start of the day, and Renz and I are about to do our groceries, and I thought I'd take you guys along because the way you do your groceries and how you plan for the week ahead when it comes to your dinners is a very important aspect of conscious cooking and eating. We usually do our groceries once every week, and today is that day. But first I'm gonna drink my tea.
Cauliflower.
So one of the first things I do when it comes to planning the week ahead and meal planning is checking my fridge. It looks a bit empty right now, but the key here is to check whatever we have left and think of what we are going to eat with those ingredients. So I have some Swiss chard here, which I really need to use. We have some hummus I made last week and a bit of cannellini beans. I got some of the stock I made on Friday, which we're gonna use. And I mostly check the produce drawer and see whatever we have left here. So we have some cabbage, I believe. We have some mushrooms, which I bought at the farmer's market last weekend. Some fresh herbs, which I always keep in a wet tea towel. This just keeps them fresh. And we have some carrots. So I already can think of a few things that we can make of those ingredients. So it's time to just finish those ingredients first. And then I mostly have a look at our pantry. So in terms of spices, we're mostly good. I always check how many nuts and seeds we have left. So we're quite good on almonds, for example, but we use a lot of pecan nuts and these are almost finished. We use a lot of rice malt syrup or honey or agave, which is nearly done as well. And then over here we have like the other bulk goods, like more beans, quinoa, chia seeds. We have quite a lot of freke, so I think I'm gonna cook something with the freke this week. Either way, I'm just checking whatever we have left and get creative with all these ingredients. One of the steps I usually take is to check what vegetables, fruits or herbs are in season, for which I use my seasonal produce guide. I just published it on my website where you can download it for free. There's a link to my guide in the description below, so make sure to check it out. Also, to get a bit more inspiration on what to cook with the ingredients that are in season, or to simply find new recipes, I often use Pinterest because it's full of great recipes or photos that help me decide on what to eat and how to combine certain ingredients. So this is our meal plan for the week ahead. I planned 7 meals. When Rez and I were still working, we would usually plan for 5 meals, and then we would be more flexible in the weekend. But now we're stuck at home anyways, and we can't really go out for dinner or so. So we just cook almost every single night. We're gonna eat some okonomiyaki from the cabbage and carrot and spring onions we have left. Some freke with satar aubergine, which is one of our favorite recipes, and we cook this quite often. We'll also be cooking one of my own recipes, which is the vegan kale salad with chickpeas. That's on my website. And on Saturday or in the weekend, we'll be cooking with whatever we have left in the fridge or whatever the farmer's market provides. So this way, I'll just leave in some space for any kind of produce that we bump into at the farmer's market. We don't always eat like things in this order. When we feel like having gnocchi on a Tuesday, for example, we would just have it on that Tuesday. Once we have our meal plan ready, we just got to make a grocery list, for which we use an app as well called Out of Milk. And it allows you to list or to theme all your groceries. So for example, we have a list of produce at the top, which is really handy. And then our frozen stuff, beverages, pasta, noodles, pantry, dairy, whatever you feel like adding. And the good part about this app as well is that you get to share the list. So Renz and I both have access to this list and are able to check off the ingredients we buy at the same time. All right, so we're nearly ready to go. All we need to do is grab some bags and some bulk bags, and then we're off.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
So we're done at the farmer's market. Rance and I are still enjoying our coffee. Normally we would bring our keep cup, but now with Corona going on, a lot of places don't really allow you to bring your own keep cup. We were a little bit on the late side, but we managed to get a nice amount of produce, which I'll show you when I make it home.
You and I can weather any storm.
So our second stop is the organic supermarket. This is where we get most of our bulk foods like chickpeas or rice, and this is also where we get like things like eggs or some dairy products. Let's go.
Everything I used to be seems to have disappeared so fast. Like time is playing tricks on me. Like my present now is my past. So lost in a familiar place while everybody's moving on. And I try to keep up with the pace, but I don't know what's going on. And it feels like I'm running backwards all the time. It feels like I am.
So to show you that I do still buy plastic and bad stuff, we bought this. It's all about balance. So before I put everything away, I thought I'd just show you everything we bought. This is all the produce we bought today. So we have some fresh fennel, some Tuscan kale, broccoli, tomatoes, cauliflower, some onions, and some butter lettuce. So these are all the ingredients we got at the farmer's market today. So we can be sure these ingredients are all in season. And then we bought a few more ingredients, as in produce, at our organic grocery store, including sweet potatoes, some ginger, some apples, avocado, eggplant, bananas, and mushrooms. So some of these ingredients definitely had to come from further away. So for example, ginger grows in areas where it's much warmer than it is in Melbourne right now. The same goes for the avocados and the bananas. So they probably came from the north of Australia. So that makes them a less sustainable option. It's always better to buy local because you can be sure it's in season. And over here we have some of the pantry stuff we bought. And some of our dairy products, etc. I really wanted to show you guys these products because we still buy a few things in plastic, which isn't great, but I guess this really shows you that cooking and eating more consciously is really a process and you can't do everything perfect at once. So, for example, one of the plastic pack things we buy is coconut yogurt. It's really tasty, but you can also easily make that yourself without using plastic. So we haven't really had a stable home with a garden where we can grow our own fruits and veggies and make sure that things like blueberries can be grown in summer and then store them in the freezer for winter. Instead, we end up buying them in the supermarket in plastic, which isn't great. But yeah, again, we're not perfect. Another thing we can definitely do better is the coffee we buy. Coffee in itself often needs to come from warmer areas. So this one actually came from Colombia. And I guess that says it all. A lot of transport miles for this ingredient. We also bought some flour. So normally you can buy this in bulk without the packaging. This packaging actually has plastic here and on the inside, which isn't great. But flour has been very popular in times of Corona, so it's really hard to find one that isn't packed in plastic. So yeah, we end up buying this. We also bought a new jar, completely new jar of rice malt syrup. A lot of bulk shops provide rice malt syrup or honey or agave in bulk, so you can just bring your jar and fill it up there, so you don't have to buy a new one. I'm sure I'll end up using this jar for something else, so I don't feel too bothered about this. But yeah, definitely different options for this. And I'm a vegetarian, but Rans isn't, so he eats some tuna every now and then. And again, cans aren't great. So this is something we can definitely do better on. But yeah, oats, you can easily buy these in bulk. Same goes for nuts and peanuts and all the beautiful produce we got over here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions about doing your groceries or planning your meals, make sure to comment below and I'll get back to you straight away. Oh, and if you need some inspiration for lunch or dinner, I published a video with 3 vegan 15-minute recipes last week. I'll link somewhere over here, so make sure to check that one out as well. Thanks again for watching and hopefully see you next time.